Hello and welcome to Levant TV Headlines. Syrian President Bashar al-Assad met Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Mikhail Bogdanov on Wednesday as Moscow pressed a bid to restart a peace process from the war-torn country. Egypt has imposed restrictions on male citizens traveling to Turkey and war-torn Libya to stop them joining jihadist organizations like the Islamic State group. Thousands of Palestinians gathered to mourn a senior official who died in a confrontation with Israeli troops as the army sent reinforcements to the West Bank and braced for unrest. US Secretary of State John Kerry will head to Rome on Sunday for a meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu as Palestinians push for swift UN action, urging an end to the Israeli occupation. And in a video message released by al-Qaeda, the group has blamed US President Barack Obama for the deaths of 2 hostages during a failed rescue attempt over the weekend. Now let's take a look at the top headlines in today's newspapers in the Middle East. Starting the UAE, the Khalij Times leads reporting that EU Foreign Affairs head Federica Mogherini has demanded an immediate inquiry into the death of Palestinian cabinet member Ziad Abu Ain. The paper also reports that a top UN special investigator says senior US officials who authorized and carried out torture as part of former President George W. Bush's national security policy must be prosecuted. The Egypt Independent leads its Middle East news, reporting that Egypt is among 11 countries in the Middle East most likely to see political violence in 2015, according to the leading global risk analytics firm Verisk Mapplecroft. The paper also reports that shouts and tears of joy filled the eyes of Egyptian fishermen returning home to Kafr al-Sheikh after fleeing the war in Libya. From Lebanon, the Daily Star leads reporting that Lebanon's northeastern border town of Arsal is not technically under siege, but residents consider themselves to be trapped by fear of being assaulted or kidnapped by the angry relatives of a slain policeman if they attempt to leave their village. The paper also reports that future Movement Secretary General Ahmad Hariri visited an impoverished neighborhood in the northern city of Tripoli, where he met with residents and inspected recent renovations to areas affected by the fierce clashes between the army and Islamist militants. Now let's take a look at the top headlines from the UK papers. The Telegraph leads its Middle East news, reporting that Benjamin Netanyahu's grip on power was looking increasingly precarious last night amid polling showing that a new Israeli centre-left group could beat him in the forthcoming general election, and that his ruling Likud party could do just as well without him. A poll conducted by Israel's most respected pollster showed that Mr. Netanyahu had led leader of the opposition Labour Party by just 1 point, when Israelis were asked who was their first choice as Prime Minister. The Independent leads its Middle East news, reporting that ISIS released footage this week of drone footage from Kobani, Syria, purportedly showing the sites of suicide bombings carried out by the militant group. The footage was released on 9th December and appears to show aerial shots of the Syrian-bordered city of Kobani and briefly shows apparent fighters for ISIS firing guns amid the rubble and debris. And The Guardian reports that jihadi groups killed more than 5,000 people last month, with Iraq topping the league table of deaths, followed by Nigeria, Afghanistan and Syria. In 664 incidents recorded in November by the BBC World Service and researched jointly with King's College London, the overall death toll was 5,042, or an average of 168 deaths per day, and nearly twice the number of people who were killed in the 11th September 2001 attacks on America. Now let's take a look at the top Middle East headlines in the international papers. Germany's Deutsche Welle reports that Israel and Palestine have presented different claims over the cause of death of Palestinian minister who died during a clash with Israeli forces. Earlier, a Palestinian pathologist said the autopsy report showed the minister did not die of natural causes. Palestinian officials also said that the Israeli forces prevented Abu Ain from being taken to hospital quickly enough to save his life. finally, China's Global Times reports that the Lebanese parliament failed Wednesday for the 16th consecutive time to convene and elect a new president because of lacking the constitutionally required quorum. Parliamentary Speaker Nabi Berri has called for a new session on January the 7th. And for more updates, please visit levant.tv. Thanks for watching. Be sure to join us again tomorrow. Bye for now.